What if the world you know is just a thin veil barely concealing the impossible? Tonight, step beyond that veil, into a realm where reality bends and shadows are alive with secrets. These aren't just stories, they're living enigmas, each a doorway to the unknown. As you listen, let yourself wonder. What if the next mystery is waiting just outside your window, or lurking in the corner of your memory? Prepare to be unsettled, enthralled, and forever changed by 7 of the most haunting unsolved mysteries you've never heard. Deep in Vermont's Green Mountains lies the Bennington Triangle, a place where the forest seems to breathe with secrets. Between 1945 and 1950, 5 people vanished here. Each disappearance more chilling than the last. Middy Rivers, a seasoned hunter, stepped ahead of his group and was never seen again, leaving only a single spent rifle cartridge. Paula Weldon, a college student in a red coat, walked into the woods and vanished, her trail ending at a crossroads as if she'd been plucked from existence. James Tetford, a war veteran, disappeared from a moving bus, his luggage untouched, his seat still warm. 8-year-old Paul Jepson, also in red, vanished while his mother's back was turned. Only Frida Langer's body was ever found, months later, in a spot that had been searched countless times. Theories swirl. Some blame a serial predator, others point to Native American curses, and legends of a man-eating rock. Locals report strange lights, unexplained noises, and even Bigfoot sightings. In a bizarre twist, compasses and radios are said to malfunction in certain parts of the triangle, as if the land itself is alive and watching. In the Bennington Triangle, the forest doesn't just hide its secrets, it devours them. Interestingly, some hikers have reported sudden, intense feelings of dread and disorientation when entering the area, as if an unseen force is trying to push them away. On a February night in 1994, Gloria Ramirez was rushed into a California ER, her body racked by cancer and something far more mysterious. As doctors tried to save her, a strange, oily sheen coated her skin, and a sharp chemical odor filled the room. When her blood was drawn, it shimmered with odd crystals. And then, chaos erupted. Nurses and doctors collapsed, overcome by nausea and convulsions, forcing an evacuation of the ER. Gloria died that night, but the terror she unleashed lingered. Official reports blamed a rare chemical reaction, but skeptics point out that the science doesn't add up. Some believe her body became a vessel for toxic chemicals. Others whisper about secret experiments. The hospital's hazmat team was called in, and the ER was closed for hours. Even months later, some staff reported lingering health issues. In a chilling detail, one nurse developed a vascular necrosis in her knees, a rare condition possibly triggered by her exposure to Gloria. Her story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most ordinary among us can become the epicenter of the inexplicable. Adding to the mystery, some researchers speculate that Ramirez's body may have produced a rare compound called dimethyl sulfate, a highly toxic chemical rarely seen in human biology. Imagine arriving at a remote Arctic village, expecting warmth and laughter, only to find silence and snow. In 1930, trapper Joe LaBelle stumbled upon the Inuit settlement at Angikuni Lake. Every inhabitant gone, meals left half-cooked, sled dogs starved and buried, and graves eerily emptied. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police found no trace of the villagers, and rumours swirled of strange lights in the sky and a sky ship that descended from the stars. Some reports claim the village's kayaks were still lined up on the shore, untouched, and personal belongings left behind as if the villagers had vanished in the middle of daily life. Inuit oral tradition still speaks of the night the stars came down and took the people away. Adding to the mystery, some trappers later reported hearing distant, mournful singing echoing across the frozen lake, as if the vanished villagers were calling out from another world. The story of Angikuni Lake endures because it taps into our deepest fear, that entire communities can vanish, leaving only questions and the echo of footsteps in the snow. An intriguing fact is that despite extensive searches, no footprints or signs of struggle were ever found around the village, deepening the enigma. In the late 1970s, a modest council house in Enfield, North London, became the epicenter of one of the most documented hauntings in history. The Hodgson family, especially 11-year-old Janet, reported furniture moving on its own, toys flying across rooms, and chilling knocks echoing through the night. Neighbours, police officers, and journalists all witnessed bizarre phenomena, heavy dresses sliding across floors, disembodied voices growling from the walls, and Janet herself levitating in front of stunned onlookers. Paranormal investigators recorded hours of audio featuring strange guttural voices and inexplicable sounds. Skeptics accused the children of playing tricks, but the sheer volume of independent witnesses and physical evidence left many unconvinced. In a particularly unnerving episode, a policewoman signed an affidavit stating she saw a chair slide across the floor by itself, a detail that still baffles investigators. The Enfield Poltergeist remains a chilling testament to the possibility that something dark and unseen can invade the heart of an ordinary home. Fascinatingly, some recordings captured voices speaking in languages unknown to the family, adding a layer of linguistic mystery to the haunting. Let's brace ourselves for this one. The Exorcism of Anneliese Michel. It happened in 1976 in Germany, and it's one of the most talked about cases of demonic possession ever. A young woman, Anneliese, attended a local university. She was a normal student, happy and religious. But then, things got really weird. She started seeing scary things, hearing voices telling her she was going to hell, and she couldn't even stand to be near religious stuff. Imagine that, it got worse. She started talking in different voices, bending her body in ways that shouldn't be possible, and saying she was possessed by demons. Not just any demons, but big names like Lucifer and Judas. Creepy, right? For 10 months, 2 priests tried to help her. They did 67 exorcisms. During these exorcisms, Anneliese wouldn't eat or drink anything. Sadly, she died from not having enough food and water. They actually recorded the exorcisms, and you can hear her screaming. The tapes contain chilling conversations with the supposed demons. It was such a big deal that there was a criminal trial. Her parents and the priests were found guilty of not taking proper care of her. But here's the really freaky part. People who lived nearby said that they saw Anneliese's face actually change shape during the exorcisms, like something else was looking out from her eyes, something evil. Interestingly, it gets even colder. People talked of the room beginning to freeze during the exorcisms, as if something supernatural was actually there with them. Anneliese's story is still one of the most disturbing and mysterious cases ever. In the 1980s, the Smurl family of West Pittston, Pennsylvania, claimed their home was under siege by a relentless, malevolent force. The haunting began with foul odors, unexplained banging, and shadowy figures lurking in the corners. Over time, the attacks escalated. Family members were scratched, pushed, and even sexually assaulted by an invisible entity. The Smurls reported levitating beds, appliances bursting into flames, and chilling voices echoing through the house. Desperate, they turned to famed demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren, who declared the haunting the work of a powerful demon. Multiple exorcisms were performed, but the phenomena persisted for years, driving the family to the brink of despair. Neighbors and visitors also witnessed strange occurrences, lending credibility to the Smurls' claims. In a final, terrifying episode, the family claimed to see a black, shadowy mass rise from the floor and vanish through the ceiling, leaving the house ice cold in its wake. The Smurl haunting remains a harrowing example of a family's battle against the darkness. Interestingly, some investigators reported their electronic equipment malfunctioned inexplicably while inside the house, as if the entity interfered with technology. In 1989, Canadian nurse Cindy James was found dead, her hands and feet bound, her body drugged and abandoned in a yard. For 7 years prior, Cindy had reported being stalked and attacked by an unknown assailant, receiving threatening phone calls, finding dead cats on her doorstep, and surviving multiple violent assaults. Police were baffled. Sometimes Cindy was found tied up with no way to have done it herself, and once she was discovered in a ditch, hypothermic, and with a black nylon stocking around her neck. Despite over 100 reported incidents, no suspect was ever identified. Some investigators suspected Cindy staged the attacks herself, but her family and friends insisted she was genuinely terrified and targeted. In a final eerie twist, Cindy had told friends she believed her stalker would eventually kill her and make it look like suicide, a prophecy that came chillingly true. The case remains one of Canada's most perplexing unsolved mysteries, a story of fear, obsession, and a woman who seemed to be hunted by a shadow that no one else could see. A haunting fact is that Cindy's diary contained cryptic entries about a dark presence watching her, adding a psychological layer to the mystery. These 7 stories are more than unsolved cases. They are invitations to wonder, to fear, and to hope. They remind us that the world is full of shadows and echoes, places where the ordinary gives way to the extraordinary. Perhaps the true power of a mystery is not in the answer, but in the questions it leaves behind. The sense that, just beyond the edge of what we know, something incredible is waiting to be discovered. Which of these mysteries haunts you the most? The search for truth continues, and the next chapter is yours to write. If these stories sent a chill down your spine, don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. If these whispers from the veil have sparked your curiosity, then you're one of us. We're dedicated to exploring the unexplained, the unsettling, and the utterly fascinating corners of our world. So if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.